The only financial interest I have to disclose is we are about to start a double-blind study doing decimate stripping only with and without Repasidil that COA is sponsoring. I also will give you one other disclaimer. My case is not one of keratoconus, so you don't have to worry about a keratoconus. So very simply, patient referred to us with a history of uneventful cataract extraction with toric intraocular lens implantation. He received a T6 lens, and the patient is very unhappy. The referring surgeon wasn't sure of the reason, so referred him to our cornea service for further evaluation. This is an important slide, and I'll come back to it. It's a very simple slide. His unaided vision is 20/40. His best corrected vision is 20/40, but he pinholes to 20/20. Again, he doesn't correct better than 20/40, but he pinholes to 20/20. Hint, hint. All right, so this is the patient. He received a toric implant. You can see the hash marks. This is a right eye, and the hash mark, I'd say, is at about 140, 150 degrees. I repeated the biometry, got about 2 diopters of cylinder at 175 degrees. And I looked at it and I said, okay, not too far from the intended axis, but still he was not refractable. I could not improve him with refraction. To make it very simple, the macula was pristine, the capsule was clear. And many people, when they see this case, they say, oh, we know what's wrong. This lens has to be rotated another 35 degrees or so using one of the multiple formulas that are available to all of you online. When you do placido topography, and there was no need for tomography here, you can see the surface is quite irregular. So yes, the simulated keratometry measurement is 2 diopters against the rule, but the surface is irregular. And the reason the surface is irregular, he has frank basement membrane disease, frank basement membrane abnormalities. Whether you like to call it a dystrophy or degeneration, that's a topic of a different conversation. But the surface was irregular. That's why he pinholed to 20/20, but was not refractable to 20/20. So after evaluating him and discussing his options, I decided to remove the epithelium in the basement membrane. And this is done in the slit lamp at the office. Simply remove the epithelium. It is critical to remove the basement membrane. You can't just remove the epithelium because, as you know, the irregularity is in the basement membrane. 2 weeks later, he returns. Slide left is the topography of the irregular surface. Slide right, what you see here is a smooth surface. The simulated keratometry is of half a diopter of astigmatism. And what's interesting now is that the patient, and the wavefront aberrometry also shows you a simulated refraction of +3/4 diopter and -2 3/4 diopter at 140 degrees, okay? When I repeated the biometry, he doesn't pick up much cylinder at all. So that's the story. So now the surface is smooth and the patient is still very unhappy. Reason being that his refraction is +1 -275 at 140 for 20/20 with a spherical equivalent of 3/8 of a diopter of myopia. So what is happening here, as you all know, is that the toric implant, which he did not need in the first place, is inducing the 2 3/4 diopters of cylinder. The power was the correct power, as you can see from the spherical equivalent, but the toricity is one that he did not need. So once we smoothed the surface and got rid of the, to use Dr. El-Nagar's term, he used the term pseudokeratosia. This is pseudotoricity because it was basically irregular astigmatism. The implant itself induced 2 3/4 diopters of astigmatism. So the question is, what do you do now? What are our options to fix his problem? You know he corrects to 20/20, but with a high degree of cylinder. All right? So what I'm going to do now is give you the management options that I thought of. And then since we have 180 or so people on this call, we're going to do a poll and have them vote. Option 1, spectacle or contact lens correction. Option 2, IOL exchange. Option 3, some type of cornea-based laser vision correction, PRK or LASIK or SMILE. Option 4, a piggyback toric IOL. And option 5, another procedure. So I'm going to ask Mr. Mohammed Hassan to put the poll up. Mohammed, can you put the poll up for the audience to vote? Thank you, sir. You all have 10 seconds to vote. Good. All right. I like what I see. Good participation. We need more of you to vote. Okay, Mohammed, give it another 10 seconds, please, so we get more people voting. Don't cut them off yet. All right, I need more of you to vote. There's only
Panelists cannot vote.
No, the panelists cannot vote. That's right, Professor. Panelists cannot vote, but the audience should vote. All right, so I think we'll end the poll here. We have a good representation of the people online, and basically, roughly half of you are divided between IOL exchange or a cornea-based laser vision correction procedure, with a few choosing the conservative option of a contact lens and a couple of piggyback toric IOL. Mind you, this patient is unhappy. He's already asking the surgeon to give him his money back. You've all been there, right? So, okay, you can take the poll off. Mohammed, you can take the poll off and we'll show the audience what we did. Okay, let's see here. You want to take this off? I don't need to see it anymore. Everybody's seen the results. All right, I'm going to move forward, but I need this to come. There we go. I'm going to put it in the corner. You can cancel it anytime. Let's move forward and finish up here. Basically, what we decided to do is to remove this toric IOL. The capsule was intact, so this was a very straightforward procedure. We delivered the lens out of the bag into the anterior chamber, bisected the lens, took it out of the eye, and all of you use different techniques to do this. There are many ways to do this, but the principle is we took a toric IOL that the patient does not need, reinflated the bag, and put a non-toric spherical lens bag back into the capsular bag. So 2 weeks later, unaided vision, 2015, patient very happy, referring doctor very happy. I'm happy, although we did not resolve the issue of the fact that he paid for a toric implant and he had to resolve it with the referring ophthalmologist. Thank you very much for your attention. In conclusion, a toric IOL at the time of cataract surgery is a great method to improve unaided visual acuity in the setting of corneal astigmatism. Incorrect toric IOL choice and off-sleeve axis placement are not the only causes of reduced unaided visual acuity postoperatively. Careful evaluation of the corneal surface is mandatory to rule out other causes of irregularity that may give the false appearance of corneal astigmatism and preclude patient satisfaction after implantation of a toric lens.